Hello YouTube, Canadian Edge here, and we are going to do a review. I have a knife here that I got from a friend. They were using this knife and I happened to notice that it needed a little bit of maintenance, and so I volunteered to do that for them, and thought I may as well do a review. And if you're not familiar with this is the Spyderco Endura 4, and it's a big knife. It really has a lot of length to it. So some of you might be familiar with the Spyderco Endura. This is basically just a larger version of the Delica. So if you like this style of knife, but this looks a little big, you can get the Delica, which is a smaller knife. So what does this knife have to offer? Well, it has a blade length of 3.75 inches. Open, it is 8.75 inches long, so yep, good size. Closed, it is 5 inches. The steel on this, it is a VG10 steel, which I like the VG10. It holds an edge quite well. Not used as much anymore. Well, I shouldn't say that. With all the other steels out there right now. This used to be a higher end steel, and so it's a good quality steel. The weight on this, it is 3.67 ounces. The handle, it is a fiberglass reinforced nylon, and it does have skeletonized liners inside, embedded for strength and a little bit of stability in that. So the pocket clip on this, the person who owns this took the pocket clip off. Well, the pocket clip fell off and they just never put it back on. And when I obtained the knife from them, they didn't have the pocket clip on them for me to put it back on for them. So they just carry it in their pocket. But yeah, it normally has a pocket clip, but it has the 4-way, so you can carry it either right or left-handed, tip up, tip down, depending on how you like to carry your knives. But it gives you 4 different options for the pocket clip, and I believe on these ones it is the wire pocket clip. Anybody who has an Endura, you can correct me if I'm wrong on that. So the locking system on it, it is the lock back system, or back lock. They call it a lock back system. So it is a very reliable system. It's been around for a long time. Cold Steel uses it on a lot of their knives. Similar idea. And so, but I'm not as partial to it. It works great. It's not a big deal. It's just, for me, it's more of a two-handed knife. You can do it like, you know, that, and one-handed if you want, but for safety reasons, you know, it's probably better just to close it 2 hands. Anyway, that's up to you. So it does have the thumb hole opening, and there is jimping on there, and I do appreciate the jimping. And there is bronze, the phosphor bronze washers in the pivot, and it's not a knife that necessarily you just flip open, but it opens just fine. It is a stiffer knife, and there is a bit of a detent down here that you have to work a little bit. Not work. It's just, it's not as smooth as some of the other knives and the more modern knives in terms of, you know, flipping open and fidgeting and stuff like that. This would not be a fidget knife, but it opens just fine. It's smooth in the opening, no problems there. And yeah, seems like a pretty decent knife. And there is no blade play on this. This sits nice and solid, and you can see it is a solid housing around there to keep it from going anywhere. And it pretty much, well, no, it does go a little bit to my left, your right. But that could be straightened out if a person wanted to, but it's not interfering in the operation of the knife. So I didn't bother worrying about it. I just cleaned it up and did a bit of blade work. There was some chips in the blade, and I had to grind that out and redo the edge on there, the cutting edge. And I haven't got it as sharp as I'd like, but it's getting there. So I'll have to do a little more work on it to get it where we want it. Anyway, let's do some size comparisons and see just what we have here in terms of size. We have the Benchmade bug out. So you can see it's quite a bit bigger. The Ontario Rat 2. So lots of different length on there. That these guys, smaller knives, don't quite measure up to that. I do have a couple bigger knives. We've got the Civivi Cogent and Sencut Saxi. And they're fairly big knives, but again, you've still got some extra length on there. So it is a good size. It is, 8 3/4 inches long. So edge, the sharpening or the sharpness edge. Like I said, I'm working on sharpening it, but it does cut the paper. And so I'll work on that a little more. I have to work on the end more because that's where the chips were, and so that's the dullest part of the blade. But it cuts a zip tie fairly easy. This garbage twine string stuff, it cuts through that, and through this cord, it cuts through that. So you can see I do need to put just a little more work into the edge, but we will get there with that. I just wanted to show off the knife because I have to get it back to the owner fairly soon. So the things that I like about this knife, the ergonomics are good on it. It's a very comfortable knife. Feels good in the hand. You got good control of the knife, so liking the ergonomics. The grip on it, great grip. It doesn't slip at all. There's no slippage, and you can hold it a couple different ways with the length of the handle there, and people with big hands would really appreciate the big handle. And I like the jimping in the thumb ramp there. It gives you good control and good purchase of the knife. The knife itself, it's not really my style of knife. I mean, it doesn't have any wow factor for me. It's an okay looking knife. Not to diss it to people that like the knife. It's not that I don't like it, it's just not my style of knife. And so this wouldn't be a knife I purchased for myself. But the owner of this knife is very happy with it and they like it a lot. So, and it is a lot bigger knife than what I would carry. So yeah, not exactly a knife I will go out and purchase for myself, but it's a Spyderco, so I know it's going to last and work well. And this owner of the knife uses it very frequently and uses it for a lot of tough jobs on a little hobby farm and stuff like that. And used to be into fire rescue and all that kind of stuff. And this knife is held up, so I can promise you that if you own an Endura 4, you can be rough and tough with it. It will stand up and take the abuse. It was made to be used, and this knife has been used. So yes, that is a plus with these knives as well. So if you're looking for a knife that you can get rough and tumble with, this is one of them. So yeah, the Spyderco Endura 4. that is what this is all about. So that is it for this review. Thank you for joining me on that. Hit the like, hit subscribe, leave me a comment. I will get back to you. We'll do more reviews and unboxings coming up, so watch for those, and we'll do this again. All right, thanks, and stay safe and stay sharp.